the importance of African American History Month,
Okay,
or
so
anything
this
you
is
want to call it?
African American History Week month.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
We'll
let's
just do a
do
little-
that, and that'll allow you to deal with any aspect of it.
Okay.
Doctor. Okay.
I hear you.
Y'all be careful now.
Yeah, you're gonna see those caps too much at the Lorraine Motel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were 3 professors from over at Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. In the history department, you say?
Well, in the divinity department, Dr.
Oh.
Baldwin and Dr. Anderson and Dr. Howard.
Oh, okay. That's
They're
good.
all
They
over
do.
at, I think they're all in well, Dr. Baldwin retired from
Yes.
Vanderbilt Divinity, but the other 2, Anderson and Howard,
They're
are
still there.
over there. As a matter of fact, Dr. Anderson, the one that just walked
came
in,
here,
I think he taught over at Tennessee State University in the
Oh.
psychology department.
Oh,
See,
okay.
Yeah, so I think, see, who did he say he worked with over there? I can't remember, but I think he taught over at Vanderbilt. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Now, thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is African American History Month, and we're fortunate to have with us Dr. E.K. Sanford from Tennessee State University to talk about African American History Month. And of course, Doctor, let me welcome you to the show this morning and tell you how delighted we are to have you, and especially to talk about African American History Month.
Okay.
Because I think that over the last many years that we've had an opportunity to talk to you on this show,
Yes.
we've talked about African American history, African American History Month, and you've made a tremendous contribution in terms of bringing us information, not only dealing with the African American, but with sociological situations itself. And so let's have you to talk about Dr. E.K. Sanford
Okay.
for a few minutes by giving us some information in reference to your background, education, and your experiences. And after that, we'll get into the second segment, and then we'll talk about the African American History Month, or the African American History Celebration, or the African American History Year, however you wish to proclaim it.
Absolutely. And I thank you so much again. It's always a pleasure being here and always a pleasure sharing information. And as you mentioned, I'm Dr. E. Kelly Sanford. I'm a professor of sociology at Tennessee State University, and I've been there now for over 20 years. And I hope your listening audience know that you and I were there at the same time, and had some of the same students who leave my class, go to yours, your class, and come to mine. And I really enjoyed those years with you and being here again today. I did my postdoc degree, which I would like to share today, at the Pennsylvania State University up in State College, Pennsylvania, Penn State. And there I did a postdoc at the National Institute of Mental Health on gerontology, intergenerational family studies, looking at the African American family. Did my doctorate degree, very proud to say, at Howard University in Washington, D.C., where I had other experiences there, working with the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, and very fortunate to work with the national headquarters of the American Red Cross. I was with the groundbreaking research that was done at that time on HIV/AIDS education. And as you may very well know, for the listening audience, that the rollout of HIV/AIDS programs came out of Washington, D.C. at the national headquarters of the American Red Cross, and I was the evaluation unit at that time working with that project. And they had a specific program related to the African American HIV and AIDS, which we'll probably get into a little bit more today. Undergraduate work at North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina, and I'm originally from Oxford, North Carolina, and it's not too far, I hate to say, from Durham or Raleigh. I know a lot of people may not know those little small towns. And if I may, I would like to give a plug out of also having experience at the University of Michigan at the Institute for Social Research at the University of Michigan while I was working on my doctorate degree. And I've had other experiences as well. Yes.
And so in a real sense, you got a lot of information in reference to the African American experience, as we once called it.
Yeah.
But during this particular time of the year, we think in terms of the celebration, the annual celebration, which at one time was a weekly celebration and then a monthly celebration, and now it's an annual celebration dealing with the African American experience.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why we, over the next couple of minutes, why we celebrate African American History Month.
Well, as you may very well know, we are made up of a nation of a lot of different ethnic groups that came from a lot of different European countries. And they migrated here, and this is a very topical issue today as we look into the 21st century. But the experience of the African was totally different other than other Europeans that came to these shores. Native Americans, we have to give recognition on this discussion that they were already here. This was their land. Africans were enslaved and brought here in a very forceful way. So that's why I'm here to talk about today the importance of sharing the African American history. And as you just mentioned, Dr. Carter G. Woodson felt that same importance a number of years ago when there was only an African American History Day, and then it moved to an African American History Week and a month. And now I think you were right in your assessment that it should be celebrated throughout the year, every year, 24/7. And we've done an excellent job. You can look at here in Nashville, Tennessee. I'd like to encourage the listeners to go to the African American Museum that is recently opened. And I think it's free and open to the public. And so there is this celebration now of the African American experience